Hey, Andy, Jamie, what happened on Thursday?
Hey Scott, thank you. Yeah, a little crazy action there today. Hi Jamie, how are you, buddy?
Andy, I'm good. How's it going over there?
Doing not bad, not bad. We got a great crowd today, and
Yeah, and
uh, and it's
those people
growing.
commenting on the Scott's got some issues over there with his internet, so he's breaking up a little bit. But hopefully, myself and Andy should be coming through crystal clear. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's always hit or miss over here. I mean, luckily, for the webinars, knock on wood, it's been so far so good. But I am on a country internet, but that'll be changing soon, moving back to the big city. But thanks everybody for joining us today. Like I said, it's a great crowd. We got a lot of regulars in here. We got a lot of new people, and yeah, I think today we'll provide some content that will help. Whether you're experienced, whether you're new to the software, I think we'll have a little something for everybody. So let's get started. Before we do, we got to go over our disclaimer here. All right, this is for educational purposes only. Okay, nothing that we say or nothing that you see today should be construed as investment advice. We'll be talking about some setups, some different strategies possibly, but once again, if you're looking for investment advice, please seek out somebody that is registered, licensed in that capacity, whether it be a stockbroker or a registered advisor. All right, let me just briefly hit on our 5-star support, education, and training, because I know we always have new people, and it looks like we have a lot of new people in here kicking the tires today. We do understand that it's a very powerful software. I think you're going to find once you spend a little time with it that it's very intuitive. You can make it as basic as you want, and you can pull it out of the box and start using it within minutes. Or you can go down the rabbit hole and start going into back testing and auto trading and all sorts of things. So we got a little bit for whatever level you desire. So. And we provide plenty of education, plenty of training for you. You can see over there on the left, we do have the Tradies Room with Barry. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already been in there. This is free for everyone. Place where you can go. You can look at our software in action. You can also you will find out there's a lot of good traders in there sharing ideas. So a great hangout right there. And then we do have basically 4 days out of the week, Monday through Thursday, all in the 5 Eastern time slot. We have a webinar just like the one you're in right now. And it's usually myself, Jamie, or Steve kind of heading those up, and the other ones, and another one in there for a sidekick to help out with the whether it be Holly or market recap. But anyway, we pair up in twos. We find it's the best format. And then on Wednesday, we have our Dan Merkin and Brad Williams. This is our CFO and our CTO. It's a great hangout to come and find new stuff coming around the corner. Dan's been even known to release those versions a little too soon at times. But anyway, it's a great place to come if you want to know more information about trade ideas. A great Q&A as well. And then these things are growing. But we're still seeing a lot of people in there that are not new to the software. Okay, this is a support webinar every day, Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. And this is a great hangout to come if you have any questions. Okay, we provide this every day. It's a great format because you can see the desktop and we can show you. We can show you and not just tell you over text. So it's you can hear us, and it's just much better than just coming to our online chat and getting instructions with text. So please, if you're new to the software and you have any questions, get in this support webinar at every day noon, and we'll have a slide up at the end of the program to let you know how you can get to that support webinar. All right, let's move on. And if I can get this to change, there we go. All right, we have a paper trader. All right, this slide's been in there for a while, but you know what? I don't want to take it out because it's a great interface. Guys, you can come in with no extra charge. You do not have to have a broker connection. You do not need to fund an account, okay? You can use our simulated trader. that comes even with the standard package. You don't have to pay extra for data or anything. It's basically comes with the software. So check it out. It's
it doesn't mean anything.
so anyway, Scott, you might want to go on mute. All right, let's look at our agenda for today. All right, we're going to have the market recap, and I'm sorry, guys, I should have taken this out. This is from last week, so pay no attention to this. You know what, though, Jamie? Even though I think we're still in the same place we are, I'll talk about that in a minute. And pay no attention to this. I've just forgot to update it. But we're going to have the market recap, and then we're going to have the Holly recap. And then I'm going to show you, we're going to build it together. We're going to build a simple top list to find pullbacks for strong stocks. And it's very easy, nothing complicated about it, but you're going to find some really good potential in finding strong stocks that are having pullbacks during the intraday. So we'll build that together, and then I'll share it with you guys. It's always good practice to show you how you can go in and change the filters and all that and build yourself a nice little alert or a top list in this case. And then I'm going to talk about the single stock window, because I do one-on-ones with people, and I see people online and chat, and a lot of people are just not using this, and there's so much, it's a great source for information. You get some really good data points in there. I'm going to show you the ones that I like, the ones that I'm looking at and think that are important, and I'll also share with you a copy of my single stock window if you should want it. And then I'm going to talk about a cool new feature coming that you guys are going to have really soon, and you're going to like it. Make sure I'm not missing any questions here. We do have a lot of people in here today, which is great. Jamie, just let me know. They're coming in pretty fast. Let me know if I need to hit on anything.
Well, assuming my order is correct, I do believe we are caught up.
Good. Great to hear. All right, let me back out of this, and let's pull up the old, let me erase my screen here, and let's pull up the old SPY chart real quick. And this is what we're going to take a look at to kind of look at what we're looking at in the market. Once again, I like to focus on this because I think it's more of a even weighted index. One thing about the NASDAQ index, you have about 5 stocks that comprise of about 45% of that index. So it's really, you could have your Amazon, Apples, and Googles, and Netflix all doing great, and the other 99% of the stocks could be just near year lows, but the averages would still be holding up. So that's why I kind of favor the SPYs to get a better view of what the overall market is doing. And boy, I tell you what, at one point today, it was looking very strong for the bulls. You can see here we got above our 50-period moving average right here. Okay, we got above that 50-period moving average, and we could not hold it. You know what? You can blame it on anything you want to, guys. It's price action, and we could talk about the Gilead news for the drug. Even though back on this date right here, or one of the dates, market had a big gap up based on that news. I try not to try to figure out why the market did something, okay? Because what you'll end up doing is arguing with the price. Price is the only thing that pays. And for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what we got. And what we have today is kind of a rejection wick, okay? We had a market that tried to get above its 50-period moving average, and it fell down below it. Now you can see here, closed right at it on this day, and could not get above there. Could not even touch it yesterday, and today we tried to get above it and slam back down. Now, I mentioned last week that after you had a nice little run up like this, okay, and you do start going sideways, that can be a very strong indicator for a possible, continuation move higher. But over time, what can happen is when you have these rejection wicks and you can't get above a certain moving average, the bulls can get nervous. So in other words, we've come a long ways off the bottom. A lot of people that bought back over here maybe in this area, boy, they suffered a lot of pain. Now we got the market back up. Well, what do you think's going through their head? They do not want to experience this downdraft again because they felt the pain over here. So they may be inclined to really sell quick on any little weakness we might see in the market. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I think you know, this is definitely and it looks like we closed right at or just below the 10-period moving average. So what may happen? I don't know. We could gap up tomorrow, this crazy market, or we can come down here and maybe test this this 20-period right here, possibly. And then below that, you know, we have to, you know, we definitely have some consolidation right in here. But you know, if we do break this level right here, we could be, you know, potentially looking at testing this low again. I don't want to go there. I don't try to think for, you know, more than probably 2 or 3 days in advance. So I would see if we take out this low, especially if we gap down tomorrow, if we can hold this level right here. But other than that, I mean, we're kind of right in the middle of the range. And remember, these are my webinars. This is my webinar 2 weeks ago. This was last week. And look, here we are again. So basically, for 3 weeks in a row in my webinar, the spiders have been pretty much in the same spot. So we really have gone nowhere. Okay. With that being said, you know, people can start getting a little impatient and a little bit nervous. All right, let's pull up real quick the Qs and take a look at them. And kind of the same candle today, same looking candle, but you can see we're still above the 20-period moving average. The diamonds should pretty much look like the spiders, and it does. But look at here, we haven't even touched we have not even touched the 50-period moving average in the diamonds. But this is kind of an antiquated index with only 30 stocks. All right, real quick, we'll take a look at the IWM, but I don't think we're going to see much there. We haven't in years. Probably, lo and behold, it kind of actually was one of the strongest candles today. So that may, you know, may have to take note of that. A little relative strength there today compared to the other indexes, but still, overall, this one has been underperforming for months. So I'm not going to give that too much weighting. All right, Jamie, I see you've been very busy over there. I appreciate it. Anything you want to add to the market recap?
No, other than the general sentiment out there, you know, the world's falling apart, unemployment's at record highs since the Great Depression. Why is the market going up? So, you know, to see what it did today, no big surprise. I mean, and more of this will be in store. However, it does just kind of look like we're meandering sideways in that little channel, right? So
we are. Absolutely.
It could be a lot worse considering all the macro factors that are influencing the markets at this point.
All right, Joe, real quick. Joe asked, what is idea surfing? Well, if you cut it on, okay, what it's going to do, it's going to cycle through the top 3 of the AI. In other words, and then it's going to circle through any top list that you have. It's going to cycle through the top 3 of those. So it's just a way, if you want to just kick back, take it easy, fold your arms over your chest, and just kind of look at stock cycling through. You can do that with the idea surfing. And anytime you want to pause it, you can either click on a symbol and it will stop it, or you can just pause it up here in the toolbar. But yeah, just a way to take a look at stock cycling through without just being lazy. All right, Jamie, you want to take it over? I know there wasn't a whole lot to talk about in the holiday, but nonetheless, it was a difficult market. Yeah,
it'll be short and sweet with Holly. Before I grab the screen here, just let's see, who was it up here? Yeah, Philip in Alaska was saying he couldn't create a login to the trading room. And Philip, if you're having difficulty creating a login, I'd say try to hit the live support area, and maybe William or Bill can assist you in that. Those would be my go-to guys if you're having problems creating a login to get into the trading room there.
Yes, when you get up in the morning, come to our online chat, and they will help you. They'll help you get in there.
All right. You should have eyes on my screen now.
I do. And
Okay,
then
perfect.
Yep.
Now, here we have the all trades blotter for the AI. If we kind of glance up here at the channel bar over here, we can see not a whole lot of signals today. What do we have? We had 9 signals from the 3 respective AIs today. Neo kicking out the most with 5. Holly 2.0 had 2, and Holly AI also had 2. Now, what I'm going to do is doesn't matter if I sort by biggest loser or winner on moderate profit. We're not seeing a whole lot of green here in moderate profit mode, okay? And since there are quite a few new people in here, the AI, regardless of which module generates the signal, cumulatively, the AI has 3 risk modes that it can behave in, or that it can, it's going to be showing you the results from all these risk modes each and every day. So first and foremost, not seeing a whole lot in moderate profit, because moderate profit is right in the middle between conservative and aggressive. All right. So let me just go ahead and sort by conservative. We did have a little bit of green, a little bit more green than red in the conservative profit mode. And the reason being is, if you were taking excessive, well, I won't say excessive risk, but based on what we saw in the market today, hey, everything's fine while we're going up and chopping around up here till the biotech news comes out, and we take this little shimmy on down, and then just kind of move sideways lower for the rest of the day. If you were taking more risk today and ignoring the AI's exit signals in conservative mode, today was not the day to do that. That's really the big takeaway from this, because most of the profits that the AI was able to capture were gleaned in conservative mode. So right off the bat here, Nike, this was a beautiful entry, all right, but just wasn't to be held for a long period of time, because we can see the entry right here at 88.17. Nice little wick down, comes back up. I really liked this signal when it came out on support, telling us that, you know what, Nike's pulled back to some support. We get the buy signal right here, and then in the next 30 minutes, off to the races. Trade everybody likes to be in, immediate gratification, as opposed to going sideways for an hour or 2 hours before it maybe makes a move. So good start in Nike, and not a bad exit that Holly made in conservative mode. We can see right here, she went the entire duration of the timed hold that was generated for on support, and we can easily see what that time frame is down here from the strategies panel. On support, a 60-minute hold time there. So the stop loss profit target did not get hit. 60 minutes expired, and she closed the trade out. Looks like she did a pretty good job at closing that trade out right here at the purple arrow. Of course, there was a little bit more on the table, 89.53, and what was our exit price right here? 89.13. So only 40 cents away from top ticking the thing. So all in all, a pretty decent exit for Holly. Of course, later on the day, start cycling down, get the news on the one biotech stock, blah, 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 this drug, that drug, and it kind of pulled the entire market down with it. So that's why we're not seeing, typically on maybe we have a little uptrending day, or the market just manages to hold on to what it was up. In those cases, at the end of the day, sometimes we'll see a bigger total in the moderate profit column as opposed to the conservative profit, right? Telling us that had we ignored the AI signals or the AI's exit signal and stayed in the trade and taken more risk, we would have gotten more reward. But it's just not there today. That's what these numbers are telling us. If you tried to hold on for more today, it wasn't working. Obvious reasons when the market got soft. So typically there are spreads between conservative and moderate profit mode, and I like to pull those up and use those as examples. But today, can't get blood out of a stone, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what we're seeing here today. No numbers in moderate profit that were larger than conservative profit. Nothing to speak of anyway. Now, what is moderate profit? If conservative profit mode is just the AI adhering to its risk parameters, profit target or a stop loss gets triggered or the timed hold comes to an end and it exits. And then we have reduce risk and profit save. So a total of 5 reasons why the AI will exit in conservative mode, whereas moderate profit mode, if the stop loss gets triggered, that's it, it's over, okay? It'll freeze that stop there and you won't see anything continue to update in moderate profit mode. Whereas if the stops don't get hit and the AI makes an exit in a timed hold, reduced risk, or a profit save, we'll continue to see these numbers get bigger if the stock continues to move higher or lower, depending on whether it was a short or a long, respectively, once the AI has exited. But when we see these numbers right here, stops hit, that locks it in, doesn't adjust anymore. This is telling us that, hey, if we saw the AI exit on QSR and we tried to take more risk, instead of making a little bit, you would have eventually come to the end of your rope with a stop, right? So once again, only one trade worth mentioning today that did any good in conservative mode, and that was the Nike. All right, so let me check out the questions here. Any of these AI related here? One of the Holly 2.0. Let's see. Can you show me where you got the beyond signal today? Okay. If you're referencing the AI, there was no beyond.
Yeah, and
there was no beyond in the AI. These are all the AI signals in this column right here today. Now, having said that, beyond was coming through all the Hive Day momentum scanners today, because it went on a nice little tear. Didn't really seem to care about the soft market, and as you can see from this window right here, beyond. Was it coming through your high-low pro as well today, Andy?
No, because it wasn't quite doing the volume needed for my high-low pro.
Yeah, and Andy's this has a relatively decent volume kicker in the form of the 1 minute time frame, asking for 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got 5 times on your 5 minute, and then I think 10 times on your 1 minute.
Right.
So while Beyond finished at almost 3 on the relative volume side, not quite up to those standards on the smaller time frames.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Andy, anything to comment on with the Holly trades before I kick it back over to you?
No, great stuff. Just go ahead and kick it back over to me.
Sure.
All right, guys. So what I wanted to do today, just I get a lot of people coming in for the first time, and they're like, they open up the software, and a lot of people are just like, gosh, I don't know what to do with it. Well, what we're going to do today is just build something real simple, because I want to get people. I dropped a getting started video in there, and you guys can take even if you're not a subscriber. I think it's a great idea to watch that video that I dropped into the chat panel, because it just shows you how you can use the software and build customized alerts. And how you can just use the channel bars. There's tons of information on here without even building anything. I mean, as soon as you take it out of the box, I say take it out of the box, you're actually downloading it to your computer, and you open it up. As long as you have a channel bar here, and you should, as soon as you launch it, you have tons of alerts, top list, multi-strategy windows, and all of these channels here. But you want to get to where you're using it and building your own alerts, because it's everybody's going to have their own style. I'm not going to try to force any of my alerts on anybody if it's not what they want to use. If it's not their niche, maybe they have a different style of trading. Maybe they want to try trade reversals. Maybe they only want to buy pullbacks and not go after momentum. Some people want to swing trade. Some people want to micro scalp. And I still see the questions flying through, Jamie. So don't worry. Just interrupt me if you think we need to touch on something. We do have a huge crowd in here today. But
yeah, sure.
I just want to give you a taste of how simple. Okay, thanks. I just want to give you a taste of how simple it is to build, you know, a decent alert. And obviously momentum, these extreme volume, high, low, pro, this SAVA was coming through that all day. But you know, some people don't want to chase it. These are all new highs. Same thing with this extreme master blaster. It's stocks that are hitting highs. Some people may want to buy pullbacks. I'm kind of that way. I don't like chasing highs. So let's just build a simple top list that will show us stocks that are pulling back, that are doing decent volume and are up on the day. Okay, so we're just going to go here to our new tab, and we're going to build a top list. Okay, and we're going to start from scratch. Okay, just wipes everything clean so we can start from scratch. And then we're just going to, there's no alerts in a top list. It's all filters. It's all parameters. And any stock that satisfies your parameters are going to appear in your top list. All right, so let's just start ones that I always use. I always define my price. Let's go let's just do $5 to $200. Average daily volume, let's use the 10-day, and let's just do 500,000 shares a day. So 500,000 shares a day it has to average over the last 10 days. And change from the close. I always use the change from the close. In this case, we're looking for stocks that are up on the day but are pulling back. So what I want to do is I'm going to do change from the close has to be up 1%. That's a minimum. Okay, so if I put 1 in the minimum column and click on the show me button, the price is at least up 1% from the previous close. So we know it's up on the day. So we also want to look for stocks that are trading some decent volume. Okay, I want them up for a reason, not just, you know, because they're thin and they just happen to gap up because there weren't any sellers. So let's do a relative volume of 2. This means that basically the stock at any given time is doing 2 times its normal volume for that time of day. Okay, so if I have a stock that is up on the day, it's doing twice its normal volume at least. And now what do we need to do to show the stock is pulling back? And I'm going to show you my favorite filters. They're called position and range. And you can just type in POSIN. And you're going to see all these position and range filters. They are so powerful, guys. I like to tell people, if you can imagine a chart in your head, you can build it just with these position and range filters. So in this case, we're looking for stocks that are pulling back. All right, so what we're going to use is a position and range. This is the intraday range. If you don't see any values or words in front of the range, it's just looking at the intraday range. That filter. Okay, and then we're going to put, I want stocks to at least be pulling back 25% from their high for the range of the day. Okay, so what I want to do is put a max over here at 75. And then I don't want stocks pulling back past their midpoint. In other words, if they're pulling back past their midpoint, to me, that's just a sign of weakness. Maybe for whatever reason, the stock ran up and it's not holding up very well. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to put 50. I tell you what, I'm going to put 60. I don't even want them to come down to the halfway point. So I'm going to put 60 right here. And let's add some columns. All right, we want to see the price. We want to know how much it's up on the day, change from the close. We want to know, let's see, relative volume. I definitely want to know how much volume it's doing. And let's do a position and range to kind of see how far it's pulled back. And that's really all I need. All right, so that's probably good enough. Let's do a summary, and let's just call this strong stock pulling back. All right, let's launch it. And it popped open over here. Let me go ahead and take off small border so you guys can see it's a top list. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go back to let's go back to about let's go back to about 45 minutes after the market's been open. That's usually a lot of times they'll run up for the first 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, and then they'll start pulling back. So let's go into our history. Great little tool here. We can go back in history, and we're just going to put it, I'm on Central Time, so I'm going to put it on 9:15. That would be 45 minutes after the market. Make sure I put AM, and we can see the stocks that are satisfying these filters at 45 minutes after the market open. And look at there, Sava, which is hitting highs all day, it's coming through here. So let me zoom in. All right, so here we are at 9:15. So you're getting it looks like it had a move right there, and then went to highs and then pulled back, and it notified you at 6:37. Okay, it would have appeared in this, and you would know that this stock is it's up 15% from the close, but look at the huge relative volume, and you can kind of see a position right here in the range. If you do not want that, you could kind of toggle over, and you can see it's at 72 mark, so it's just below that 75% level. So this can be just a simple, great little top list for you to look for strong stocks pulling back. Look how nice would that been if you would have been able to caught this, on the pullback at 657. Look at the range, ran another almost a buck for you. Let's take a look at some more here. There's another one that you could have seen it at 759. So right in here, you would have got the alert on the pullback. Or maybe in that first bar. There's another one, went a little bit higher, but it looks like the market finally pulled it back. Beautiful one right there. Notified you right here at 624. Ran another, what's that, 50 cents, 40 cents. So just pulling up one after another. That's the one that didn't work. It's pretty nasty there. Did not work on that one. This one ended up working a little bit, but nothing to write home about. CDC, this is one that I was in for the last few days and got out of today, but had a little bit pop. Not much of one, just up to $6. Now I could have run this at 9 o'clock and see what we have. There's one that pulled back, went a little bit higher. Let's get some ones. Beautiful one right there. Okay, pulled back 40.21, went as high as another, basically a $1.30 for you. All right, Maijin. So you can see, and guys, remember the market rolled over today. If the market had stayed strong, I'm imagining there would have been a lot more meat on these bones. But this is just a great way to see stocks that are gapping up. They're doing good volume, but yet you're seeing them in your top list on a pullback where you can kind of scan, click through here, and decide what you want to do with them. So I am going to share this for anybody who wants it. And Jamie, do I need to ask or answer any questions while I'm doing this? Or you've been tackling it?
Well, yeah, like the one I just answered. I'll try not to butcher the name. Kalpana was asking, how do I navigate momentum? I'm like, well, that's kind of a broad topic, right? Momentum in which capacity, upside, downside. But I would say momentum is something you don't want to go against typically, right? But then there are some people that do want to go against momentum and take the other side of the trade. Hey, this stock's gone up too much, I'm going to fade it, or it's gone down too much, I'm going to try to pick me a bottom, which we all know those are some of the hardest things to do, right?
Sure.
So if I had to make a statement about momentum, it would just be go with it as opposed to against it, right? But as I said, that's a broad statement. We could sit here and talk for hours about momentum and how to attempt to use it in your advantage. But that's about all I got on that one. Or have to get to the momentum. Maybe he's talking about the momentum channel. Stocks that are in play.
Well, I tell you what, I will share this one right here. This is Extreme Master Blaster. It's going to show you stocks that are doing huge volume. Okay. They're hitting highs. They have to be breaking out of a range. They're hitting highs. A lot of people really like this one, and I'll drop it in there in the chat window so you can have it. It will definitely show you where the momentum is. You still have to trade it. And what I typically look for is volume, and I look at the daily chart to see where the resistance is. Okay, and is there resistance? And if so, how strong? Is it going to be enough volume to push it through? There's, obviously, this software can show you where the momentum is, but you still have to trade it. But I'm going to put Master Blaster in there as well, dropping it into the chat window for those that want it. All right, so there you go, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't like chasing momentum and you want to find strong stocks that are pulling back, this is simple. It's something very simple that you can use to help you, find that opportunity. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the single stock window. Okay, it's right here. I got it, and it's. I love it. I use this so many. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit because my go-to interface or toolbar is in its way. So I'm going to tell you the things I love looking at when I'm studying, whether it be momentum, whether it be taking a swing trade. I'm going to do a little bit of both, but I'm going to show you the things that I look at as a trader when I'm deciding whether I want to take a position or not. All right, the things that are important to me, and I'll pull my highlighter in here, is obviously relative volume. Okay, love to see good relative volume if I'm buying a stock that's potentially breaking out, and I like to monitor this 1 minute volume and 5 minute volume. Okay, if I'm looking at a stock, unfortunately, it's not going to go back in time and show me. But let's say this Saba, for example, this morning coming through. Okay, you can see it was doing huge relative volume. More than likely, the volume this morning, the single stock window won't go back in history, but more than likely, you can see it on here. If I go back to when it was coming through here, there we go. You can see it right here. You can see the relative volume in this. 1 minute volume, 16 times normal. 5 minute volume, 11 times normal. It broke through resistance right here this morning. Okay, broke through that resistance, and then it started doing it with huge volume. That's the kind of things I'm looking at. If you're looking at this morning, this 5 minute volume and 1 minute volume, you're seeing it the same as you're seeing it here in this window. That's powerful. Something else, things that I look at, obviously the float. Okay, you can see this only has 22 million in the float. Okay, that's kind of low. I usually classify anything below 20 million as low float, but that's close enough. So things with low float that's doing huge volume, they have a chance to get. That's where you're going to get a chance to get these huge moves. Okay, you don't have as much stock floating around, and the buyers want the stock. They're going to pay up for it, and it's going to move pretty quickly. Be careful. Float cuts both ways. Okay, so if you get on the wrong side of a low floating stock, you can get killed. Short float, I like to look at that. Steve loves looking at short float. This is not real high, but if you get a stock that's moving and it has the high, a 25, 30% short float, you can really get some extra juice in action on that. Now, when it comes to swing trading, I like to pull up a different. This is one I mentioned the Sage to you guys the other day. All right. And in our little fund that we trade, Michael beat me to it. He had another alert that pointed it out, but I was just about ready to buy it. But okay, so why would I find something like this interesting? Well, it's got a nice base. Look at this base it's put in for over a month. Okay. Breaking out of this base, And look at here, look at the cash. Got $1 billion in cash. Look at the debt, 37 million in debt. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that I love. I don't like seeing stocks with, I mean, trust me, I will still trade stocks, but if I see something like this and look at this revenue growth, that's just, now they're still probably obviously losing money, but they still got a huge revenue growth. That's the kind of stuff, you know, these are the items. These are why these are at top. All these are at top because this is the kind of stuff I look at. You know, price to earning ratio, some of the stuff I'll take a look at anyway, but I love to see stocks that have a nice cash position, nice revenue growth. It's why I traded STC. Now I did get out of this today. Hold on here. It ended up being a nice little trade because I was in it from 423 right here. And I sold my last third position today at like 685 once it broke down to this level. But once again, you know, beaten up. What do you see here? A nice base, very similar to that Sage. Okay, coming out of that base, decent cash position. You know, that's not a bad. You know, and some pretty decent revenue growth. One that I'd probably look to buy back maybe tomorrow or the next day if it pulls back, you know, next to these moving averages. But anyway, yeah, I just want to show you guys. Oh yeah, one other thing. This is cool. You guys are gonna love this. This is coming soon to you guys, to a version near you. Okay, we do have this similar tab. I'm sure if you guys have been in Barry's room, you've seen this. And let's take a look. Let's pull up what sector was strong today. The oil sector was very strong. Okay, so let's just type in Halliburton. I know it's a oil stock. Okay, and if we go to similar, right, if you're looking at this, I want to show you what you can do now. Okay, so this is the way I traded for years. I would just know pretty much at least probably the top 5 or 6 stocks in every sector, and I had a sector watch list. This is before we had trade ideas, you know, this, you know, and yeah, for about 5 years before I had trade ideas, I had to trade basically just off of sector analysis, and I would know the stocks in there. But you don't have to do that anymore because we're giving you this stuff. Okay, so let's say you pull up Halliburton today and you're looking for opportunity. Look what you can do now. You can right click and pop out, and it pops out a top list for you of this sector. Now, one caveat here, okay, it's set up under the configuration to show you everything. This is why it only has 25,000 shares traded today. I'm sorry, average daily volume. So what I would do in a case like this, once I popped it up, is I'd probably, you know, put it on at least 500,000. You could do 300,000, but you could do that real quick and click OK, and it's going to eliminate all those thin stocks. So now you got a great little top list that you can do it by relative volume. You can search by change from the close, see which one's stronger, the strongest. Look at that move today in this one. So if you're watching this this morning, all right, and you see the oil sector is so really strong, you want to know a simple way to trade where you don't have to sit here and build your own alerts and all that. Pop out this and look at this one today. Look at that. I mean, I know it's a $1 stock, but gosh, $1 all the way up to $2.33. A lot of opportunity in the energy sector today. And all you would have to do is basically, you know, you could probably plug in OIH, even if you plugged in the sector here. Let's see if that would work. Yeah, look at that. You can just click on the sector. I don't know. Hold on. Now, I would probably put in at least one stock in that sector. Yeah, because you're gonna pull up a lot of ETFs if you just click on the sector. But great stuff. Once again, you guys are going to be having this real soon. All right. All you got to do is pop out. I would change the average daily volume so you're not getting stocks in here that only trade, you know, 30 or 40,000 shares, you know, because that can get you in trouble. Be real thin. But that is going to be a really good tool that you can use right when you open up the software. Real easy. All right, Jamie, I see you've been really busy over there, man. I sure thank you. We've got a great crowd. Anything,
No,
Anita?
no worries. Brian was asking for stocks that are heavily shorted, and so I told him to go to Channel 4 to find the Squeeze Me, but that one might have dried up a little bit. I see a couple of
Oh yeah,
symbols
Steve
showing
put it.
up there.
Yeah, let me put mine in there. Steve put a different, and we're going to be redoing that Channel 4 real quick. I got a top list here doesn't have all those filters in it. Let me check it out
Right on.
first.
Yep, and that's the nature of alert windows, depending on market conditions. What was spitting out tons of good stuff, sometimes the well goes dry, and we have to retool to accommodate the new market conditions.
Absolutely. Now, what you can do with this top list is, I think it has a filter in there looking for stocks that are, close to a yearly high. Let's take a look. Yeah, position in year range. If you want to get more data, okay, all you need to do is take this, and I'll change it for you right now. Let's just put it on 70% because we've had a big pullback in the market. So we put it on 70. Now we should get a lot more data, and we do. And you can see it's sorted by float shares. So this MTCH, look at that thing. A lot of shares short, and boy, look if it can break out above this level right here. That could be pretty strong. So anyway, I'll share this one with you. It's called Squeeze Me. Can't type. You're welcome, Brian. You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, any more questions out there, Jamie? We got a little bit of time. If anybody has anything they want to ask, talk about. Yes, if you want to connect TI to Thinkorswim, we can help you with that. Just come to our website, trade-ideas.com, tomorrow morning. We open up at 9 Central, and we will give you a document. I don't have that on me right now, but a tech will get you. Thinkorswim is a little bit quirky, so he'll have to give you a document for that. But we'll definitely get you up and going. You're welcome. Options. Yes, we do have some stuff for options. Let me show you real quick. It's limited, but we do have some basic stuff.
Yeah, and typically users are just incorporating these into their equity scans as just, just additional filters. You can find stocks that are doing, heavy call volume. The one I like is option volume today. You can see if a stock is doing, 200, 300% of its normal options. The thing about options, what I tell people, if the stock has options on it, and you see something coming across one of your alerts, you can either buy the common or you can go out and buy options on it. So I think a lot of these alerts would still work for you as long as the stock trades options. All right, let's see if there's any more. Looks like we just about got them all. Yes, Rob. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a great tool. William, if you're asking about parallels, yeah, the Trade Ideas works really great with parallels. I've done several one-on-ones with people using parallels, and it works great with it. Right, and I popped that in there, but yeah, you can run parallels on your Mac and then run Windows along with your Mac operating system, because our client is only for PC right now. For the unforeseeable future, we have the web version, which a lot of the Mac users prefer, as opposed to running parallels.
Yes, and Joel is saying that it also works good with VirtualBox. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm not a Mac guy. Thank you, Joel. All right, well, we're getting here to the top of the, close to the top of the hour. You know what? It can be integrated with Street Smart Edge. We do link to most platforms out there. So just come to our website. You'll want to see a tech, and we'll get you going on that. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time today. I'm going to bring Scott in. You guys hang on. He'll have a discount code for you to get this product on sale. So, Scott, if you want to come back in and walk us out.
All right, thank you. Couple items on the way out. We have a test drive coming in May. So you can sign up for that now to get ready for it. It kicks off on May 11th. That's a Monday, and it runs through May 22nd, 2 weeks total. So you can try all of Trade Ideas Premium for only $8.99. That covers your data usage. Trade-ideas.com/test drive is the URL to go to for all the details. And we'll be reminding you guys about this until we kick that off. We have daily support sessions now, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Very easy to use. It's on our YouTube channel. Just go to trade-ideas.com/live to get to that YouTube page and bookmark it. And then come on in at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and ask any questions that you have in the chat. Try our best to get them answered. You can download a new ebook. It's all about earnings. Trade-ideas.com/earnings is the ebook. It's written by Dave Mabe, our Chief Information Officer, who created Holly and the Odds Maker and some other critical portions of our software. So he's got some great ideas about how you can use earnings to your advantage. It's also got some cloud links that you can import into your layout, and that'll help you get started with those strategies. Trade Ideas Podcast, we release intermittently. Trade Ideas Podcast is the term to search for. I understand that we're going to have a new one coming up from Sean McLaughlin pretty soon. I think it's going to be an interview one, so you can get ready for that release by adding us as a subscription. And check out the last few releases that we made. They were pretty good. They've got some good feedback, so check out the back issues. Spring Holly is a code that lets you save 15% off your first month or year of any subscription for Trade Ideas or upgrade from standard to premium. So write that down and use it before the end of the month if you want to either do an upgrade to premium or get started with Trade Ideas, any subscription at all. You can follow Jamie on Twitter. He's at QuantBot. Our Steve Gomez is at Today Trader. The best place to ask any questions is info@trade-ideas.com. That email address goes into our help desk software. So your question doesn't get lost and it gets routed to the appropriate team member. Facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro is the Facebook page to like and share everything we post with your friends. So we're gonna have this recording up tonight or tomorrow morning, and you get an email reminder from GoToWebinar tomorrow with a link to the playlist. It will be the newest video on that playlist. Thanks everyone. We'll see you in the webinars next week. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Jamie. Have a good one.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody. If I don't talk to you tomorrow, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Yep. See you later. Bye-bye.